Well, hello again. This is, I suppose, our fourth little fireside chat. Um, I'm actually recording this one on Sunday morning, just about 9 o'clock. I'm about to celebrate Mass here in my home. And it is still admittedly very strange that I'm not over at the church this morning, saying hello to people as they come in and preparing myself to offer Mass and to be together with everybody with all the music and all the other ministers and altar servers and the parish full of activity. It's the starkest reminder that I have in my life that we're living in unique and sometimes difficult times. And so I thought this morning that I would reflect upon um, how we can still participate in Mass even though we find ourselves not being able to attend Mass. First, there are many different ways to watch Mass. Lots of parishes and really EWTN exists for this reason, right? We have already a wonderful ministry in our country who is putting out the recording of the Mass. I think of my grandparents who, for many years at the end of their life, were homebound, and whenever we would visit, that was part of their schedule, that they would turn on the Mass on EWTN and watch it, and then they'd pray the Rosary together. And it was a very wonderful thing and a great testament to their faith. And it's also a reminder for us that while this is a strange and unique situation for us, there are many Catholics in the world for whom not being able to get to Mass is the norm, right? It's part of their regular existence. And so this is a good moment for us to be in solidarity with them, that lots of people, this is part of the normal practice of their faith. But even more powerfully than just watching, a live stream or a recording of the Mass, there are some other active ways that we can participate, right? Because that's important, that we're actively participating in. We might think to ourselves, well, I can't be at Mass responding when I'm supposed to, or singing along with the hymns or the parts of the Mass. And that's what active participation means, right? In a way, but more importantly, our active participation is our prayer at Mass. And so I really encourage you, even if you are listening to or watching a recording of the Mass, to, on your own, read the readings of the day. They're easily found at the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops website, usccb.org. That's literally where almost every even priest goes to find them, so they're very convenient right there. And to read them on your own, to quietly reflect upon them as part of your daily prayer. But most importantly, the way that we can be active in our participation at Mass is by offering sacrifice, okay? The sacrificial nature of the Mass is really the most important thing that we can participate in. That we make sacrifices throughout our day. Little things. There are lots of them right now, right? Like making sacrifices by not taking unnecessary trips outside of your home, by staying socially distant, by being patient with the people that you are staying at home with, by doing extra little things to remind yourself to be patient with them. All of these little sacrifices we can make, and we can choose to make them. And then we unite them to the sacrifice of the Mass, right? At every Mass, we pray, I pray, as the priest, pray, brothers, that my sacrifice and yours may be acceptable to God, the Almighty Father, right? And what that allows us to do is unite each of our little sacrifices to the one great sacrifice of the Mass, that is Jesus Christ's own self-offering to God his Father, right? That at every Mass we are made present again at Calvary, that we are experiencing again the sacrifice that Jesus Christ offered for the salvation of the world. But we aren't simply watching that, right? We are participating in it by uniting our own sacrifices to it. So I really invite you every day to just take a few moments and to pause and consider the sacrifices that you have been making, and to turn in prayer to Jesus and say, Lord, these are the sacrifices I have made, and I am uniting them to the sacrifice of the Mass that is being offered throughout the world, that it may bring about sanctity not only in me, but also in others. That's what actively participating in the Mass really means. That we are not just watching the Mass, but we too are making our own little sacrifices as a part of it. I want you to know that I am, again, continually praying for you all every day. And I cannot wait until we're back to normal, until we're back at church like we're so familiar with. And I hope that comes soon. But again, we need to be obedient, and we need to listen to what everybody is telling us. And by doing that, it will be sooner rather than later that we see one another again. May God bless you all.